So you're thinking about moving to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and more specifically, Lexington. Well, in this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of Lexington via a map. I'm going to show you some of its neighborhoods, going to show you around town a little bit, some of the things that are available to you in Lexington and in the Lexington area. And if you hang around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some census data about Lexington and a real estate market report about Lexington, and you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And we're going to get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Virginia, from its beautiful mountains to valleys and in towns like Lexington, then click on that subscribe button and touch that bell icon so you can be the first to be notified about all the current market information in Virginia, from its beautiful mountains to its valleys. Hi, my name's Stephen Gleason, along with my wife and partner Leslie, and we get phone calls and emails every day from folks just like you who are looking to make a move to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and we get calls who live in the mountains and valleys who are looking to sell their homes and to move across town or across county lines as well, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to make a move in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up the phone and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. The information's all in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you make your move to Virginia or across Virginia's Shenandoah Valley or Blue Ridge Mountains as smooth as possible. So as I said in this video, I'm going to take you on a map tour of Lexington, Virginia, and just show you a little bit about the town and what all is available if you were to live in the Lexington area. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and let's get right to it. Let's take a look at the map. So here's a basic outline of Lexington, Virginia, and Lexington is a smaller town than some of the towns that we've looked at in the past. Matter of fact, there's about 7,300 people that are in Lexington, and the entire county that it sits in, Rockbridge County, of which it's the county seat, the whole population is only about 36,000 people, so it's a much more of a rural area, but there's still a lot of things in Lexington that are just great reasons to live in Lexington. And that being said, let's just we're going to zoom in here on the map real quick and kind of give you some idea about the roads. And you see right here through the middle of town, we've got the two main drags. Once you get to the center of town, it's one way from the northeast to the southwest. That's Jefferson Street. And then from the southwest to the northeast, it's one way this way, and that is Main Street. As you can see, the Nelson Street separates that right in two. That's also Highway 60 as well. That being said, I want to go ahead and I want to jump out here just a little bit so you can get an idea about the area that Lexington is in overall. And as I jump out, you're going to see that Lexington sits right at the corner of Interstate 81 and Interstate 64. And then Interstate 64 becomes 8164 until you get up into the Stanton area. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more so you can get an idea about where it is in location to the rest of Virginia. If you look here, you can see the Washington, D.C. area, and get to the Washington, D.C. area, you're looking at about 3 hours to Northern Virginia, maybe 3 hours and 50 minutes, traffic depending, of course, to get up into the Washington, D.C. area. If you were to drive over into the Richmond area, you're looking at about 2 hours to get down to Richmond. All the way down here in Virginia Beach, if you want to go to the beach on the weekend or for a vacation, you're looking at about 3.5 to 4 hours away from the beach. A couple towns closer in, of course, you've got Harrisonburg. We've taken a look at that before. It's about an hour away. Stanton, Waynesboro, about 35 minutes away. Charlottesville, also about an hour away. And Roanoke, not quite an hour, just about 55 minutes away. And so that kind of gives you an idea of where it sits in relation to the rest of Virginia. It's actually basically the southern end. It goes on a little bit past Lexington, but basically Lexington is the southern end of the Shenandoah Valley. So we're going to go ahead and zoom back in here now for a second and take a look at some of the other things here about Lexington. As I mentioned already, when I was zoomed in there, you can see that Highway 60 comes right through town, kind of from an east to west point of view. And then you also have Highway 11. And as I mentioned in some of my other videos, Highway 11 parallels much of Interstate 81 all up and down the state of Virginia. And so really a lot of good crossroads. If you need to go east, west, north, south, you've got that accessible pretty quickly. There are a couple airports that are close. The two closest to those airports are in a couple towns that I've already mentioned, and that is here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville, like I say, just about an hour and 15 minutes away to get to the airport here in Charlottesville. And then if you want to go a little bit closer, about an hour away is down in Roanoke, okay? Both of those airports, the Charlottesville Albemarle Regional Airport and the Roanoke Blacksburg Regional Airport, both of those are obviously regional airports, and all three of them are served by American, Delta, and United. So might be a little bit more expensive to fly out than obviously a major city, and you're not going to have the airlines, you know, the Southwest and Spirits and things like that, the discount type airlines at these airports, but they're great airports to fly in and out of. They're very easy to get in and out of. If you are looking for a major airport, you'd still have to go on out a little bit further. The next closest airport is going to be down here in Richmond. And as I already mentioned, Richmond is about 2 hours away, 2 hours and 15 minutes, since the airport's on the eastern side of Richmond. And then in Northern Virginia, you're looking at about 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours to get into Northern Virginia. So, but that'll give you an idea where you need to go if you would like to travel via airline. So as we zoom back in here a little bit, here's some of the areas of that you'll find some of the shopping that take place. First of all, we've got Lexington Crossing up here in the northern part of town, and then also across Highway 11 there's other shopping as well. But Lexington Crossing is where you're going to find your Lowe's and your Walmart and some other stores that you would normally see like around a Walmart. Another place that you're going to find is just on the other side of the interstate, just a little bit. And right here in this area, this is College Square. College Square has like a Tractor Supply in it. And another place that you're going to find a lot of the shopping is going to be right down in this area here. And you're going to find there the Stonewall Square. It has an Ollie's bargain store. It's got a Harbor Freight there. It's got a Food Lion. So, but those are really the three main areas of like national brand type names that you might know. Other than that, the neatest thing I think about Lexington is its downtown shopping. And Lexington's downtown shopping is all takes place right downtown, and just so many different stores that are right in the downtown area off of Jefferson Street and off of South Main Street and even up Nelson Street as well. And there's just a lot of different shops and restaurants. It's a really neat evening just to go or a Saturday to go and to shop some of the shops there and to just enjoy a nice night in a restaurant there as well. Just a lot of options. I think one of the neatest things about Lexington is that its downtown area. It's just so nice. So that being said, Lexington is also a college town. And being a college town, there's actually two colleges in the small town here of Lexington. And those two colleges, you can see them here on the map, are Washington and Lee University. And then adjoining Washington and Lee University, they actually join each other, is the Virginia Military Institute. The Washington and Lee University is a private liberal arts school that was started in 1749. And as a matter of fact, in the late 1700s, it was having financial problems. And George Washington gave a gift of $20,000 and helped to keep the college afloat at the time. And hence, it got his name of George Washington eventually became, and then Robert E. Lee later, after the Civil War, he became president of Washington and Lee University. And today he is buried there at Lee Chapel as well. So very historical university. Virginia Military Institute was started in 1839. It is it was started to as a state-supported military college, and it's often been called the West Point of the South. And the cadets that are there, as we call them, the Keydets, they are, of course, highly disciplined and taught the skill set necessary that will meet their future goals. And many of them go on to other military type colleges like a West Point or Naval Academy, that type of thing. So let's talk a little bit about arts and culture. And arts and culture is certainly something that is, there are different opportunities for that in Lexington. As a matter of fact, I mentioned Virginia Military Institute. VMI has a theater there. It's Leslie Gillis Jr., the 29 Theater. And while the students at VMI don't have theater classes to take as a major, things like that, it's something that they do for fun and for enjoyment and put plays on. And additionally, though, it has also turned in the last 10 or 12 years into the community theater is where they put on their plays there. So if you're looking for a good play in town, that'd be a great place to go. There's also the Stackhouse Theater, which is on the campus of Washington and Lee University, and different things that take place there. Also on the campus of Washington and Lee is the Linfest Center for the Arts, and you're going to get a lot of voice and orchestral performances there as well. And then, of course, last but not least, you see the Lime Kiln Theater. The Lime Kiln Theater is really is a pretty cool place. It is an outdoor theater, and as an outdoor theater, there's a lot of music that takes place there. There's some plays, and so if somebody's coming to town, it's a pretty good chance that you're gonna be seeing that musical event at the Lime Kiln Theater, and just a really cool place in town, and great for the summer times and for the early autumn as well. The other cool thing about the Lime Kiln Theater is that the reason it's called the Lime Kiln Theater, it was a 19th century ruins of a lime kiln and quarry, and it has trees that go all the way around it. So obviously it's been set up so that you're down in the quarry and safe, but it's kind of a really neat place that down in a quarry like that used to be operational in the 1800s. Also wanted to share with you, if you take a look at our blog video about Lexington, it's going to show you some of the neighborhoods in Lexington, and some of those neighborhoods that we took a look at. One of the neighborhoods was just about 10 minutes north of town, and that particular neighborhood, the name of it was Meadowview, and Meadowview sits right up in this area right here. And the average price of a home in Meadowview, there's some like more starter type homes, but there's larger homes as well, and those average from about $300,000 to $600,000 in price. Another area that we looked at is just south of the town center here, and that is where we found a lot of historical homes, a really neat area of town. Some of those homes, upwards almost 200 years old, and just a really neat area of town. And the homes in that particular area go from about $350,000 all the way up to about $700,000. We're seeing a lot of revitalization going on in that area of town and other areas as well. And so, but some of the homes that have been fixed up and are like new, some of them are worth over $1 million in that area as well. So really neat section of town. And then the last area that we looked at was right over here off of the Lexington Golf and Country Club, and that area was the Meadows at Wood Creek and the Greens, kind of two neighborhoods that went together there, and a lot of homes in there that were more newish, most of them between 10 and 20 years old. Matter of fact, they're even still building in that area now, and the homes in that particular area, you could find a price tag on those from about $450,000 to $950,000, obviously dependent upon the size of the home. And some of the lots are smaller in that area, but some of them are larger. Some of them have actual acres for lots, while some of them are a half an acre or so. But really neat area of town, and it gives you an idea of some of the homes that we looked in our vlog video, and some of the homes in the Lexington area. Of course, there's many other areas of Lexington as well. We'll talk about that market report here in just a little bit. Of course, since I mentioned it, I might as well go ahead and say Lexington Golf and Country Club. I always like to talk about golf. That is the only course in the city of Lexington. As you can see, it's on the southwest side of town, and a really nice course, very challenging. It is a semi-private course. It has a membership, and of course, it is open to the public at certain times and in certain ways that you can play that course. And so, again, Lexington Golf and Country Club, just a really neat place to play golf. So in talking about recreation in town, there are a few places of recreation. As a matter of fact, throughout all of Rockbridge County, there are about 4 different places that you can swim. And in Lexington itself, you're going to find the Brubaker Field Sports Complex. That's one of those places you can swim. There's a swimming pool there. There's football fields. There's a skate park there, and that's up on the northern side of town, up near the interstate up in this particular area. There's also multiple small neighborhood type parks that have some playgrounds and equipment and things like that. A couple of those, Lime Bridge Kiln Park and Fairwinds Park, those are some of the ones that are in town. But when you're looking for recreation in Lexington, you're really looking not just inside of Lexington, but you're looking in all of Rockbridge County and in its surrounding areas as well. And Rockbridge County has just some very unique opportunities for recreation. And so you get an idea of where Rockbridge County is there's Rockbridge County, and you can see Lexington sits in the center, and right up at the top of the mountain, always mention it, you've got the Appalachian Trail, pretty much follows that ridge there where Rockbridge County sits, and goes all the way up to the northern seaboard and all the way down to the southern seaboard of the United States. Another thing, if you like driving, you have the Blue Ridge Parkway that is very similar to where that line is right there as well. The Blue Ridge Parkway has some beautiful views, especially in the fall of the year, and has different lookout points, which are just really amazing, and you just really enjoy it if you go up there and take a look, see what's up there. When it comes to hunting and biking and camping and fishing, Rockbridge County has a multitude of opportunities available. You can see here some of the different trails that you can take, and some of these have different levels of difficulty, and all of these are within 45 minutes or an hour of Lexington, Virginia, and just really, really neat to get up and to hike some of these trails and really enjoy those trails. Biking, here's at least 7 trails. Some of them are just regular bicycle type trails, and some of them are mountain biking type trails. So just a great opportunity for biking as well. Of course, camping, if you're looking to camp, there's plenty of places in Rockbridge County to camp, and no shortage there, and you can stay. And one of the things you can do while you're camping in Rockbridge County, you can go ahead, if you have your fishing license, you can go fish. You can fish for trout, you can fly fish, you can, different types of fishing, but fishing is wonderful in Rockbridge County. And so it's kind of a really cool thing about Rockbridge County is the outdoor recreation that Rockbridge County has. Oh, I almost forgot. One of the other cool things about Rockbridge County too is you have the Upper James River Water Trail. Now, the James River doesn't go through Lexington, okay, but the Maury River does. And the Maury River flows into the James River. And so whether you have a kayak or whether you have a canoe, excuse me, a raft or an inner tube, whatever you want to do, you can get on that river and you can float down to the James River, and you'll float by towns like Lexington, you're going to float by Buena Vista, you're going to float by Glasgow, and just really neat on your way down to the James River. As well, I'm going to go ahead and go back here to the map, and if you go just a little bit south here, in Rockbridge County, you're going to see the Natural Bridge area, and Natural Bridge is absolutely phenomenal. It is a natural bridge, and where a river has cut through, and Cedar Creek, and that bridge actually has surveyor's marks on it or initials, excuse me, not surveyor's mark, but initials from George Washington when he was here in the area. And just a really cool place to go. And while you're there, don't forget to go to the caverns at Natural Bridge. It's a cave there, and it's really cool. But it really is a cool cave, and just a chance to go down in there. And of course, they turn the lights off so you can see how dark it really is and everything. But there's a lot of history there about that particular cave as well. And so I encourage you that if you're there, it's just another great thing about Rockbridge County. As far as festivals and events go, Rockbridge has no shortage of them. Of course, they have farmers markets there in Rockbridge County and Lexington. They have that as well. And Lexington, several times during the year, they'll shut down those streets downtown, and especially Main Street, and they'll have vendors lining the streets for you to come to shop and to do things. And of course, the stores are open along the street as well. And it's just a really neat day to go on a day like that. And of course, you can't miss out on the Lexington Christmas Parade every year. Just something that Lexington we do every year that is really, really neat. Another neat place is I've zoomed back in here to Lexington. Here's the town of Lexington. Just go a little north, back up to the north side of town. I actually talked about this in my vlog video, but the Virginia Horse Center, man, what a cool place. Over 600 acres and room for 1,000 horses, a coliseum that seats 4,000 people, and events time after time, month after month, week after week, something always happening at the Virginia Horse Center, and just a really neat thing to have in a small town like Lexington, Virginia. So perhaps you're looking for a winery or brewery, that type of thing, around Lexington or in Lexington. Well, there's no shortage of those in and around Lexington in Rockbridge County. Just a few of them here. The Echo Adesso Vineyards, owned by the Weatherly family. The word Echo Adesso literally means here now, and that's what the Weatherlys want you to do. They want you to get away from things, come to the vineyard, and enjoy it and be here now. Put all the troubles of life away from you. It's a vineyard of 350 acres. They have 5 and 10K runs. They have trivia nights there. And as a matter of fact, they're a vet-first business. That means that they have a special focus on hiring veterans to work there at the vineyards. Devil's Backbone Brewery is another great place. There's actually 2 locations, one here just north of Lexington in Rockbridge County, and another one on the other side of the mountain in Nelson County in Roseland. Both of them have won awards for their craft brews, and not only do they have craft brews, they have whiskeys, they have gins, they have rums, they have bourbons, they have canned citrus drinks as well. And so it makes it a very popular destination there in Rockbridge County and over in Roseland as well. And last but not least, there's the Halcyon Cider Days Company, which is a family-owned and operated small farm just south of Lexington in Rockbridge County. And this particular cider company is very unique in the fact that they have planted their apple trees in the shape of a labyrinth. And that labyrinth, that shape that it is modeled after, the actual floor labyrinth in the Chartres Cathedral in France. So just kind of a really cool thing for you to go and experience and walk through and see. And perhaps that one of the different ciders will be what you're looking for in and around Lexington, Virginia. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you hung around to the end, I was going to share with you some census data about Lexington, Virginia, and I was also going to share with you a current market report about Lexington and its area around it. And so taking a look at the census report here, you're going to see, again, we talked about the population. The population is 7,320 people. That's what it was in 2020. And if you take in Rockbridge County, about 22,000, and then there's another, Lexington is what we call an independent city, and so is Buena Vista. And Buena Vista has a population of about 6,600. You put all that together, and it's about 36,000 people that live in all of Rockbridge County. So like I said, Lexington, is a smaller town, but there are still a lot of different things that are available there for you, especially in the area of recreation. One of the things I like to take a look at is the people per square mile, and you can see Lexington about 2,900 people per square mile, So it gives you a little bit of that urban feel right in the downtown area. And of course, you look at Rockbridge County as a whole, it's less than even the United States. So overall, it's a fairly sparsely populated county, which gives some great places to go and hikes to take and things to do. Another thing that I always like to look at is about the age. And as you can see, Rockbridge County and Lexington itself is a little bit of an older population. You can see the United States has about 17% of its population that's over 65, and Lexington, well, it only has 13%. Rockbridge County has 27%, and so all that kind of put together, maybe the community there is a little more mature than some of the other communities compared to the United States. But like I say, with you've got two colleges right in town there, you don't feel that, and it's just really neat. If you go on and look too, you can see Lexington, the city, those children under 18 years of age, about 8%, about 17% in the county compared to the rest of the United States. So kind of give you an idea about that particular demographic in Lexington. And then finally, last but not least, I want to talk about owner-occupied housing. And overall, if you put Lexington and Rockbridge County together, it's about average with the rest of the United States as far as owner-occupied housing goes. So I also told you that I'd share with you a market report, and here's some information, and this information comes from Realtor.com, and you can see that Lexington, the average home value in Lexington that's been sold here recently is about $335,000, and there's certainly homes that are less than that, but there's a lot of homes that are a lot more than that as well. And so whatever price range you're in, Lexington's probably a good place for you to find a home. You can see that as far as the market goes, there's about in December, houses set on the market for about 73 days. But if you look at the graph behind there, you see it's up and down a little bit. It's kind of about an average, maybe a little more, maybe a little less from time to time throughout the year. But like I tell everybody, when we're selling properties in Lexington or in Rockbridge County, if your house is been taken care of and it shows well and it is well taken care of, you're going to find that if it's priced right, your house is going to sell quickly in Lexington and in Rockbridge County. There can be a demand for housing, even though the next chart that we see here, it says there's kind of a balance in buyer versus seller. You can see prices 98.4%. Prices a little bit under what the asking price for, but I really still think that it's definitely geared toward a seller's market, but it has moved off. It's not where we were a year ago at this time per se, when it was definitely a seller's market. So that being said, I just kind of want to go ahead and share my screen here with you again and show you some homes that are available currently on the market in the Lexington area. And I picked a couple. Both of them are a little outside of town. You've seen some of the homes in the blog video that are in town or closer to the in town, but I also picked these because they have some acreage with them. And the first property is about 9 or 10 minutes outside of town. And as I'm talking, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through some of the photos here for you. Excuse me, but this particular home is currently listed for $456,000. It has 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. It has 3,482 square feet. And like I say, it sits on 3 acres. And that's kind of a really neat thing. You got some room to get out and to do some things in your yard or to plant a garden if you like gardening. Just some really neat things. As you can see from some of the pictures, looks like definitely the kitchen and most of the property has been updated. And so there's some nice things that available in that particular property. This particular property was built in 1995, so you're looking at almost a 30-year-old property. But as you can see, there's been some upgrades, a garden tub, some of the granite countertops there. But again, that's just one of the houses there in the Lexington area that is currently on the market, and that breaks down at that price of $456,000 with the square footage. That breaks down to about $131 a square foot. And as you saw on the slide earlier, the average square foot of a house in Lexington, Virginia is about $179 a square foot. So kind of a neat property there in the Lexington area. So another property that is currently on the market, which has quite a bit of land with it, is this one. And this particular property is currently on the market for $695,000. Now, what do you get with that? Well, the biggest thing that you get is you get land. You're getting 23 and a half acres of land, and land is a very desired quantity out here in the Lexington area, of course, and especially if you live here, you know that. A lot of folks are always looking to move out into the country, but nice little pond there for you to fish in, and what a cool little driveway up to your house, a little creek there. If you're looking to maybe hunt, if you're a hunter, this would possibly be something that might meet your needs as well. As we go into the house, you can see some of it's a little bit older. It was built in 1977. It does have 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. And it has 2,509 square feet. So as you can see, maybe there's maybe you like some of the things that are there. Maybe you want to update some. Looks like maybe some things have been, maybe some things haven't been updated yet. But that particular property is valued for its land that it has. And if you're looking to get out of the town or out of the city somewhere and come to the country, that may be something that you might be interested in. So that being said, it's just a few of the things that are in Lexington, Virginia, and in Rockbridge County, and it really is a great recreational county, and it's a county too that it's not hustle bustle, and it's got the very unique downtown that goes along with it as well, which just really makes for that small town vibe, but yet it has the 2 colleges there as well, and so it's got that activity going on as well. So it really is, Lexington really is a neat little town. And so like I say, maybe Lexington's something to interest you, or if you're looking to buy in Lexington or in the Rockbridge County, or maybe you're looking for some of that land in the county, like I said at the beginning of the video, just pick up the phone and give Leslie or I a call. Shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd be more than happy to help you find out more information about Lexington, or if you're already in Lexington, give you information specific to your property to help you know what the value of your property is if you're interested in selling that particular property. And but like I say, we love to help folks. That's what Leslie and I, we love to do that. It's just one of the things that is great about being a real estate agent. I think the other thing that's really cool is you get to meet people that you wouldn't have otherwise met, and just really neat to interact with people and to help them find something that is really probably, if not the most important, certainly one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make, and that's where to live. And we want folks, when they purchase a property, to be very satisfied about the property that they live in and that they've purchased. And so we hope to be able to do that with you. So like I say, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you. And like I always say, until next time, we'll see you around town.